Hey there everybody, welcome to my jungle kitchen. So it's an outdoor kitchen here in Puerto Viejo. There's the jungle. Here's where I spend most of my time. And I do spend most of my time here in the kitchen actually, making a lot of food. Because all the restaurants are closed and actually it's better to be making your own food energetically. In Ayurveda, the science of Indian cooking, Indian wellness basically, they believe that you really should be making all of your own food because energetically you're putting your own energy into your food. And they also don't really believe in leftovers, which is kind of a North American thing, I know. But if you think about food having energy and life force and prana, you know, it's like once you make it, the longer you have it in the fridge and away from the table, it loses its life force. So that being said, the food that I'm going to make today has a lot of life force. It has a lot of prana, it has a lot of probiotics. So I'm not able to access my high quality probiotics that I usually buy when I'm in Canada, and so I have been making my own yogurt from coconut, or the flesh from pipa. So I've been buying my pipa water every week. I have Alberto, my lovely new friend from Nicaragua, who comes and delivers pipa to me. And so we take the water out and I drink the water during the week. Great source of electrolytes. And then we scoop, I say we, he actually does it, which is so awesome. I'm living like such a princess right now. He scoops it out for me. And so that's what I have in here. So in my blender, I don't know if you can see the consistency, but it's like kind of, it's not the super young, so it's the one that's like kind of medium, not super hard. You could also use coconut if it's younger, but it needs to be this kind of slimy texture, if you will. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you what I have prepped first. I don't have my fancy yogurt maker here, so this is what I'm improvising with. A cooler bag from the local store here. And then I have these 2 empty bottles. Oh, they're quite hot. I've just filled them with hot water. You can see they were maple syrup. That is what I'm splurging on here. I am buying myself maple syrup once in a while. So these are filled with hot water. So this is my yogurt maker over there, ready to rock. So now what I'm going to do is I have bought this coconut yogurt, and I think we have it in Canada. It's just called something different. It's called Aroidi, and I really like this this brand and Aroidi because it doesn't have anything in it. It doesn't have guar gum. It doesn't have any sulfites. It doesn't have any carrageenan. It's basically just coconut and water. And so there's this brand. There's also this brand. This has slightly less coconut. This is like 40% coconut. This is 85%, so this is going to be more creamy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of this milk into here, so that'll blend well. And then I'm going to take this, the rest of it, pour it into here, and I'm going to heat it up. So you don't want it boiling, but you want it to be quite warm. So I like to use a whisk, and I whisk away. While this is warming up, I also like to take, these are like gold to me right now. These are my leftovers from Canada, probiotics that I'm just keeping for yogurt. So I take a capsule of probiotic, and I use the non-dairy, but if you can do dairy, that's fine. And I just empty the capsule out into the coconut concoction. This kind of acts as a starter, actually, and just adds a little bit of goodness in terms of intestinal flora. And so I've been making this for quite a while, since I've been here for the past few months. What I also do, I'm just going to keep my eye on this whisking away so it doesn't come to a full boil. Maybe put it on medium so it doesn't burn. So what I also do is I have this leftover yogurt from last week, and so I'm just going to take a couple of tablespoons from that, and this is now my kind of starter, essentially, for this week. And you can put a little bit of honey. Sometimes I put a little bit of honey in this because the bacteria do like to eat the honey, but I'm not going to do it this week because I'm also looking to make like a chip dip, which is a little more savory. So if you like it sweet, you can just add honey afterwards. So I'm going to turn this on and blend it around on high. If you have a Vitamix, that's awesome. But if you don't, this also works just as well. You can also chant over whatever you're making to infuse it with some extra vibes. I'm going to chant some Ramadasa Sase Sohang over this while this is on. So this very warm coconut milk is now infused with the energy of Ramadasa Sase Sohang, healing vibes, which is great. So now I'm going to take this and get my little hand protector things. So again, it's not boiling, but it's quite hot. I'm going to mix it in with the coconut flesh that also has the probiotic in it. Now, if you're doing something hot in these blenders and the lids aren't so great, I usually like to put it on low and then start low so it won't explode, because I've had that happen a couple times, or just pulse it a couple times. So this should be good to go. And then I have also prepared in advance, I've sterilized this jar. So you want to just sterilize any glass jars and lids that you're using just with boiling water, which I've already done. And so now I pour my what will be yogurt. And you don't want to fill it right to the top, because I did that and it expands and then it kind of explodes all over the cooler bag. So I like to leave about this much from the top, and then I put my lid on, and then I put it in my cooler bag, which is now the yogurt maker. You know, if you have a bigger cooler, you could do that, and you could do a few at a time. But this is enough for me for 1 week. So I just take my bottle of hot water, put it in the bottom. I take my what will be yogurt, and I do have the lid on. And then I have my other bottle of hot water that I shimmy over top. And then I close it down. And usually this process, the fermenting, ideally is 24 hours. So what I usually do, and I'm home a lot of the time, is every 6 or 7 hours, every 8 hours, I'll change the water and just make it hot again. So I'll dump the water out into the jungle, so it's actually nourishing the earth. We have a tendency to just always put water down the drain, which I used to do, and it was like, why are we doing this? We could be actually feeding the soil. And so I switch it up a couple times, and then tomorrow at this time, 24 hours, I'm going to have delicious coconut yogurt. So I hope this inspires you to make it at home and try it at home. And it stays good for about a week in your fridge. So blessings, healing, much love. Buon appetit. Buon provecho.